Hello,
Hello,
everybody. It's TechnicSage18. I'm joined by.
TechnicSage18, and welcome to part 2 of the Dekarangers versus SPD Toku Talks.
And we're gonna continue off what we said last time, and we're gonna finish off the characters and their powers from SPD. So, Technic, you can do your thing.
Alright, so, well, we already talked about SPD's Red Ranger and Blue Ranger, right?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
We'll go on to Bridge now. Bridge.
Yeah, we'll talk about the blue and the green, yellow, and pink Rangers now. So, well, the Green Ranger was a comedian, pretty much. He was very clumsy at some points.
Pretty much the comic relief, but still an important character.
Yeah. Like, in order to, like, if he has a troubled mind, he always headstands or something. And then,
it was also considered his thinking pose, and that was actually adapted from Dekarangers, where Sen, his ability was to, it wasn't very much of like a special extraordinary ability. It was kind of like a thing he practiced, and it is pretty much a way for him to think well and get to the point, like figure out situations. So Bridge was actually more of a comic relief, but still an important character, and he actually was really helpful in a lot of episodes.
Yeah, because his genetic power was to scan others' auras.
And it helped a lot towards the finale of SPD, where there are these, the A Squad, and the A Squad, I'm just going to simplify it real quick, and it's pretty much this team that was lost, that was said to be lost.
Yeah.
But then they came, and their suits are actually based off the Turbo, not Turbo, in Space Rangers, or the Mega Rangers, if you look at their helmet design.
Oh yeah, just a little fact that, did you know that Sky's dad was Time Ranger Red's son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least that was said, but we're not completely sure.
Yeah. So anyway, continuing on, the Yellow Ranger. Well, she was also a criminal from, like, running away from SPD, and when Dougie Kruger offered to become the Yellow Ranger, she accepted. And her genetic power was pretty much like a cloning ability. She was able to create doppelgangers of herself, which were pretty much clones or puppets in a sense.
But it pretty much, if you're an anime fan, then you know about Naruto's Shadow Clone Jutsu, pretty much like that, but a genetic ability.
Yeah, pretty much. And then lastly, we have the Pink Ranger. She was pretty rich, and she spent a lot of time on her makeup. I know that because of so many episodes. I see her just like doing
like
makeup.
A boss.
Oh yeah.
And so her genetic ability was, she's pretty much a person that could absorb any metal and have that ability. Pretty much, if you are familiar with Ben 10, if you know the character Kevin, he was pretty much in osmosis, where he was able to take the ability or like the material and infuse it with his own body or whatever, and
pretty much
have weapons of
it work on wood, or I don't know actually.
Okay, now let's go on to the plot of each series. I'll start off with Dekarangers. Dekarangers, the plot was actually very similar in a sense to SPD, because they're both about just one criminal, and like that criminal, he was sending out all these monsters, and then they kill those monsters. But in Dekarangers, I think how the plot went, it was pretty much the same, but it was actually more of like a mafia tone thing, while SPD was just intergalactic stuff like you would see in Star Wars, but much kid-friendlier.
Yeah. So, yeah, SPD's one was similar as well, but SPD was protecting the Earth from any destruction from the Trubian Empire, I believe.
And who's head by some skeleton dude, where you could see his brain, and I thought, and looking back at it, I'm wondering why would they put that in a kid's show, because
that's scary.
Yeah, he was pretty scary, and a fun fact, he was voiced or played or acted, whatever, he was actually voiced by the same guy who's in Power Rangers Samurai, if you're familiar with that, and the Master G. No, wait, I'm talking about.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, like the master dude. Yeah, he's the one who played as Grum, which was the skeleton dude.
Oh, that's legit. From bad guy to samurai master.
But the acting really diminished.
Yeah, pretty much.
I remember.
So yeah.
Actually, no, never mind. Sorry. Takeda, go on.
Okay. So anyway, the plot was pretty much defending the Earth from the Empire, as well as to find the A Squad. But that was later on towards the end.
Yeah, pretty much. And you done? Sorry.
Yeah, sniffing.
Okay, so compared to Dekarangers and SPD, if you're familiar with the Bat person who had like the giant like Zordon-esque tube thing, but much smaller, just to fit his head, he was actually the main bad guy, the main person in Dekarangers, while Grum was the main bad guy in SPD.
Yeah, usually they change the evil villains because it's either unsafe for kids or something.
Well, it's always like that. It's just their themes were a little too violent.
Yeah. And yeah, that's about it on the plot. So now we'll say like our own personal thoughts on which one was better. So Sachet, take it away.
I believe that Dekarangers was better in some ways because it had a better plot than SPD. Because some parts in SPD, the plot kind of felt a bit awkward in some situations, while in Dekarangers, the plot flowed like well. It's just that but sometimes it did kind of get all weird. But that's only like a few times. And if you're familiar with the episode where in SPD, where like these like I don't know how to describe it, but like that snake girl person where Morgana was transformed into, if you remember that, in the Sentai, she was actually part of this group of people called the Hell Siblings, and they pretty much was the main plot for like 3 episodes, and that's where the Sixth Ranger, the Omega Ranger came in, or known as Deca Break.
Deca Break.
And other than that, I just believe all the characters were able to develop greatly, because you got to see backstory on each of the characters and what made them who they are, and you got to see just how they improved. It's generally just better than SPD, but of course SPD has its own kind of things that stand out against Dekarangers, and I think Adrien will say it right now.
Okay, yes I will. So, well, when I watched SPD, I was a 6-year-old kid, and it was cool because like it was a bit more actiony than all the other Power Rangers, and like instead of them being teenagers, they were actually adults.
Well, not necessarily, because I was on like because when I was like 5 years old watching the show, I went onto the Jetix website at the time, and yeah, I was able to get on the internet, beat that people, and I was able to look at their ages, and Jack, he was actually 19, pretty much all of them were 19, pretty much, and Sky was the oldest one, being 20.
Well, still pretty much like almost a mature adult then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of a bit more, well, it wasn't serious, but like, it's as if it was a childly connection towards Dekaranger, I would have to say.
Yeah.
Because it's more child friendly than Dekarangers, so that's why it's not as good of a plot, which I agree with Sachet on.
And Dekarangers, I like the plot a lot, to add on what I previously said, because it involves real life situations, but it puts like their own intergalactic twist on it. Because it has the whole idea about mafia and like mechanical violence and stuff. So that's what I really liked. It puts real-life situations, but with their own twist on it. We have about a minute left, so I guess we'll just end it off here. And next week, we're going to be talking about, and I just made this up right here, right now, and we're probably going to talk about, I want to talk about Dino Thunder, in my opinion.
Oh my god, I want to talk about it.
Okay, so we're talking about Dino Thunder next week, the predecessor to SPD, which came out. You know, you'll get all the information next week.
Yeah, we'll tell you everything. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to talk about this video, give it a comment. And if you love us, subscribe to Satchit, right?
And I'll give a link to TechnicSage18 so you can subscribe to him.
Oh, thank you very much. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. And Satchit, take it away.
I'm Toku Talks HD, and I'll see you guys in the very near galaxy.